Hey, man.
What's up?
Hey, have you ever heard of Lou Pearlman?
Lou Pearlman?
Yeah, you want to see him?
Sure.
This is what he looks like. Describe him to their audio listeners.
He looks like Larry Gary from Parks and Rec.
That's actually
he looks
incredibly
almost
accurate.
just like him.
Yeah.
He looks like Yeah,
this
is a flipped image, by the way.
It definitely is. And honestly,
maybe it's not. I don't know.
Honestly, looking at it, it does feel like he is at Epcot. Like that's what this kind of feels like.
Or an outdoor mall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That sign in the background for
Toulay.
See, it's a J.
Here's another picture of him. Let's see if by this picture you can kind of guess what he does for a living.
Oh no. Okay. Here's the thing.
Do you recognize anyone in this picture?
I'm trying right now. I don't think
I'm be surprised if you would. There's one that there's a chance that you would recognize.
So for audio listeners, it's our guy, Lou, in the middle with his arms crossed. And he is surrounded by what I assume are boy band members. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 guys that are kind of around him. Is Lou Pearlman like a music exec who put because this looks like these are guys who would be joining a band in the 90s band like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. And so Lou is just a manager who's just finding different dudes who want to be famous. This is how these bands form, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to be famous? Cool. Yeah. We're going to do you and 4 other guys.
4 other randos.
And now we're going to make sure that you guys are famous.
Yeah.
Is that what he does?
Close. He's a youth pastor. This is his youth group.
You're joking.
This hand on the side, though, I just noticed this feels like an AI picture. I know it's not. I'm positive this is not an AI image.
But
that hand on the far side
sitting on the shoulder
feels like AI.
His fingers are so
His
long.
fingers are messed up.
Okay.
That guy's got weird things.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he really a youth pastor?
No, he's not a youth pastor. All right. I'm going to start at the top.
I'll do the jokes. Things I learned last night. Oh, stop!
Every time I tell a
today,
joke,
and it's because you showed up late, and then you spent an hour doing something.
I spent an hour making this show possible,
and it's like, hey man, and I was like, all right, start the episode, and you're like, he's a youth pastor. Let me do it.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
Okay, so you're listening to youth pastor. So stupid. Okay.
No, I'll start at the top of the story. Lou Pearlman.
That's probably where we should start the story.
Yeah, let me start at the top of the story. He was born in 1954 in New York, New York.
See, jokes. Made Tim laugh. Alex got a chuckle out of that.
Yeah, it's
went,
pretty rare to get Alex to laugh, honestly.
Oh, he doesn't laugh. He got a little. Rare.
I know, but even that
in the mic, can you?
Yeah, are you adding that in? Add it in post.
There you go.
Every time you think of a joke is good enough for an Alex laugh, just give us one of those puffs in post. Give me a puff in post.
See how you did a dumb joke at the end? You see how you're like, do a little puff and puff.
Jeez, the energy today.
Slept in, dude. I'm well rested.
His parents ran a dry cleaning business. He was an only child.
Okay.
He was a card-carrying
only child.
Practicing card-carrying only child. They were practicing Jews. Okay. That's going to be important later.
Sure.
And he also was the first cousin of musician Art Garfunkel, which is also going to be important later. Okay. But in his early life, he had an interesting childhood because he associated himself with a wide group of friends.
Okay.
But no one really he wasn't a popular kid, but he had a lot of friends, but a lot of his friends weren't really his friends. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
They weren't good friends is what I'm trying to say. But he knew a lot of people. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so he at middle schoolish age, he got into his first business venture.
Okay.
When one of his friends was trying to get out of.
What was your first business idea in middle school?
My first
I sold
business idea
for lockers.
You sold magnets?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I would buy like a bag of magnets at Walmart or like different little things, and I had them in my locker, and I'd sell them for 25 cents.
Interesting.
Because our lockers are metal, and people want to decorate them.
I don't know what my first business idea was.
And I filled that need. And that's the first part about business is you got to identify the need of your customer. Give me a lower third, Robert, or whoever's editing this. Can you give me
just in case Robert gets fired between now and then.
Hey, I don't know. It might be me at that point. Who goes? Just put a little lower thirds, like point number one. Identify the need.
Identify the need.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first business. I don't know if the first idea I can remember.
That wasn't my first business. That was the first. Yeah. My first business was I sold invisible ice cream to my neighbors. So I would go door to door in my Power Wheels Jeep. This is real. I would go door to door and I would knock on the door and I go, I have ice cream. Because I was like, I don't know, 4 and 5 maybe. And they would give me a quarter and I would hand them invisible ice cream, which was great because like the supply chain never ran out.
Yeah, it's my
inventory was full. And sometimes I would even lie. You have to manufacture scarcity. I'd be like, oh, I'm out of that today.
I'm out of that today.
And that's principle number 2. Manufacture scarcity. Be out of that. We out here.
Be out of that.
Be out that. That was, you know, I call this the beatitudes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what the first business I actually did. But I do.
Sure.
I'm pretty confident the first idea I had was
a French horn. I was like, man, what about a horn?
What about a horn?
That like wraps around?
Yeah. No, but me and my friend Michael, we wanted to start a restaurant, and we wanted to call it the Tamaiki Experience. I don't know where we came up with that.
All businesses start with like good branding up top. It's just branding. Like an idea. Because we have a business idea and it's just like, what if we did this together? What if we made Solar Flare Media? And then after that, you just go, oh crap, we have to actually do business stuff.
Yeah, we have to just do stuff.
And the business stuff sucks. The fun part is getting a logo and do all that. The bad part is everything else about your business.
I remember we were 10 or 11.
Which is point number 3. Start with a logo.
Start with the logo.
Be happy up top. Yes. Like if you start your own business, you're never going to be happy again.
Yeah. And if you need a logo, you can go to solarflare.com. We don't have .com.
We don't have that. That's somebody else's business.
Someone else. But yeah, I remember we were 10 or 11. I remember we had a sleepover.
This episode is brought to you by solarflare.com, a competing company. By somebody else.
It's not a competing company. It's just another company.
It's just a different. What do they do? Solar panels or what?
I don't know.
Let's find out what solarflare.com does together.
But it was like we were 10 or 11. We were having a sleepover.
Someone
and I
listening
remember
right now is just
cooked.
like, dang, Jaron cannot stop interrupting Tim.
The website's down? What happened?
That sounds
Did they go out of business?
This is like whenever we were single guys in our early 20s and then a girl would stop posting pictures of her boyfriend and then she would post like a beach picture where she says like, love my girls at the beach. And you're just like, why are you posting?
Why is there no guy in there?
And it's like, are you available?
This is such a mess. No, so we were like 10 or 11 and we were having a sleepover.
It's my favorite bit that I can get Tim to do. You guys, I mean, I know you're really annoyed right now, but it's the fact that Tim has the inability to just pick up a story where he left off. He has to start from the top. So we were like, no, go back. Listen to the last 5. I've done this on purpose. I've done this for you to enjoy this moment. Skip back, like hit the minus 15 or back 15, like probably 6 times. Go back a couple minutes. And then you hear Tim say, so we were like 10 or 11. And he cannot just tell the story from there. He has to start over. It's my new favorite bit that I'm going to do in this show is just intentionally interrupting him. It's almost like just being like, repeat. So tell your story.
So we were like 10 or 11 years old. We were out to sleep over one night. We stayed up really late. And I'm not kidding when I say we cooked most of the food in my parents' fridge. And we didn't know how to cook.
That's fun.
And we just made a bunch of stuff. The one dish that turned out decent because it didn't really require much knowledge was, we called it the Happy Meal. It was a pizza. We made it was an oven pizza, first of all, like a Red Baron oven pizza.
Yeah.
And then we made nachos. And we put the nachos on top of the pizza. And I made that until I was like 23. That was like a core piece of my diet. And then
Woof.
And then my heart failed.
Woof.
Yeah, it was so bad, but
I don't know if you go back and look at Tim's in 2013, he looked like because he had shaved his head, he looked like a bowling pin. He looked like Randall from Monsters Inc., just slimy and pale, weird. You know?
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. My skin was weird too. It was close to that purple. But anyways, he had his first business. Someone he went to school with.
He was 10 or 11.
He was 10 or 11. Someone he went to school with had a paper route, and he was trying to get out of it. He's like, I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. And so he was talking to everyone in his school. And he's like, I'm trying to get rid of my route. I'll give you $500, or I'll give you $500 to take it.
Give you $500.
And everyone's like, I don't think you know how business
middle schooler is like, yeah,
$500 could buy me such a big mansion. So he was looking for someone to buy it from him. Lou
has a paper route.
Lou doesn't have a paper route, but someone in his school has a paper route.
Okay.
And he's trying to get out of the game. And so he's looking for someone to buy his route off of him. And so Lou buys it from him for $500. And he starts doing this paper route.
Where did he get $500?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe his parents from the laundromat were like, we'll invest in your future. I don't know. But he somehow got $500. This is, and that's a lot of money.
I was going to say, what kind of deals are these middle schoolers making where it's like, okay, here's my paper route. Here's my EBITDA. Like, what do you like?
I know, yeah.
Like, hey, what's the multiplier on what it's worth? You know, here's how much time it takes.
Here's my assets.
Here's the
my
scalability of it. And you're like, what do you like? I think I value sharks.
I'm seeking $500 for a 100% stake in my business.
I mean, printed media is dying, and for that reason, I'm out.
So, and honestly, this is the 60s too. And so $500 is a lot of money in the 60s.
That's what I'm saying. You could buy a full house.
You could buy 7 houses. Yeah, that's
How big
crazy.
was this paper route?
I don't know.
So he buys the paper route from somebody.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'll buy. First of all, for a middle schooler to understand business in a way that's like, yeah, I'll buy that off of you.
Yeah.
I will buy out your paper route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he lied. This is made up.
He gets the paper route. He starts running it. And then he realizes, hey, I am one person running one paper route. I can only make so much. But he says, but if I can get 10 people under me running 10 paper routes, I can make a lot more.
Yeah.
And so he goes and he starts.
If I can get 10 people, and then those 10 people can get 10 people, we could have every neighborhood in the country within. How many cycles is it?
I think it's like 6.
It's not a lot. It's
small.
It's very small.
What is that? What do they call it? The 6 degrees of separation.
That's a completely
it's the
different
same concept,
thing.
Though.
It's not.
It's the same concept because you're 6 degrees separated from anyone in the world. And so if you're 6 degrees separated from anyone in the world, then you're 6 pyramid stacks away from having the whole world underneath you.
Okay.
So he's like, man, if I could have a whole bunch of people underneath me running paper routes, I could make a lot more. So he started gobbling up all the local paper routes, going and buying them out. And then he realized, wait a second, everybody in the morning, they read their paper. And then what do they do while they read their paper?
Ignore the chaos of the family and the kids running around because it was the 60s. And so they made the wife take on the majority of the home labor. And so the husband's reading the paper in the morning, kind of trying to catch up on the news and trying to catch up on the things happening around town while the wife is trying to corral the 3 kids and she's exhausted and done. And actually she can't get out because it's similar to the Yellow Deli. She's actually, her entire financial stability is dependent on this one man who is completely avoiding the entire situation by reading the newspaper. So
yes,
and also drinking coffee.
Oh yeah, that's great. I was going to say smoking cigarettes, but Drinking coffee is also true. So he...
I thought that yesterday. I pulled into the gas station. It was 7 a.m. I'm getting ready to leave to drive up to Kansas City.
Yeah.
You can put that on the table. You don't got to drink a floor Celsius. You know that, right? Like, you don't have to like hide it. It's not a Busch Light, dude. It's a Celsius, man. You're hiding it down here as if you gotta take a sip and not be on camera, bro. It's fine.
Imagine if I was just drinking a Busch Light showing hiding a Busch Light.
Okay, but the reason I also said that is, again, back to my story. Okay. 7 a.m. I'm leaving my parents' house. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I tell my story?
Yeah. Sorry about
7 a.m. I'm leaving my parents' house. So I go to the gas station. Someone's smoking a cigarette. It's 7 a.m. And I was like, this is a little early.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess some people wake up, first thing to do, cig.
In the 60s, that was the morning routine. You go down to the corner store, you get yourself the paper, a pack of Marlboro Reds, you get yourself a coffee from the gas station coffee, and then you probably do get a Busch Light. And you go home and you do them all at once.
That was the other part of my story is I drove and I stopped in Carthage to use the bathroom. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to get a Coke while I'm here at the gas station. And I get a Coke and I'm standing behind this guy in the line who's like just...
swaying?
Just looking like kind of like he's been up all night. Mm-hmm. And he puts a tall boy Busch Light.
That's crazy.
It is, at this point, 7:45 in the morning.
It is crazy to me.
And I need to say this. Sad. That's so sad.
Yeah, that is, you have a problem.
That's sad.
Like, honestly, genuinely, if you're buying a single beer from a gas station, you have a problem. That's a problem.
Oh, that's true. Any time of the day.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're buying singles from the gas station, that's a problem.
That's a problem. But also, like, make it at least not Busch Light. You know what I'm saying?
Like, splurge a little. Get something nice.
Like, like, that's another deeper level of the problem. And I understand it's an addiction and it should be taken seriously. That guy probably needs help, and I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast. Well, I mean, maybe he does now that he's been arrested for drunk driving at 9 a.m. and now he's in prison listening to our
show. He's like, oh, that was me.
He's like, I loved you guys on those tablets they gave in jail. One guy commented on YouTube and said he spent 27 days in jail. And he found us one weekend. So for the last 3 weeks of his stay, he listened to us every night and he fell asleep to our podcast and never once made it to the end of an episode. So that guy spent a full month in jail and has never fiddled off the devil. I just thought about that.
That's crazy.
I was like, he doesn't understand the fiddle off joke at all.
Because he never made it.
He never made it.
That's crazy. Okay. Anyways, so he made a partnership with... He said, how can I make this even more profitable?
So he got a friend.
He
hired employees.
He hired employees. He's got a bunch of paper routes now, and he's got employees running these paper routes that he's paying to run the paper routes. And then he went and he made a partnership deal with the local Dunkin' Donuts. And so they would go, they would pick up coffees, and they would deliver the paper and your coffee every morning to all these people. And so he had the most profitable paper route because you got your coffee.
You have like sixth graders riding around on their bike, throwing a paper, and then also throwing a coffee. And it was like, thanks, guys. But also, like, does he have a tray of?
Yeah, they got a tray of coffees and the little drink holders, and they're riding around. They're sloshing everywhere.
Do you want cream?
On the coffee.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. They got the backpack full of creamers, little creamer packs.
Sure.
Sugar, Splenda. I don't know if Splenda came out yet.
This is like there's a guy on TikTok that I've seen a couple times who has I don't want to call it a food truck. It's a food truck.
Yeah.
But he rolls up to those construction sites. Have you seen that?
No.
He like basically has a body cam on.
Yeah.
And so he's driving and he rolls up to a construction site, hops out, opens it up, puts his little things in place, and like he's got a line of people waiting already. Like he comes every day.
Weird.
And he's like, "What's up, man?" And then he just does this.
Like a hot plate.
Yeah, I mean, it's like little hoagies. He's like, "Oh, you want that?" He's got different little things. Yeah. It's almost like the refrigerated section thing in the middle of Quick Trip, and you can just pick random stuff. But he's also got like a roller thing. He's got like hot dogs. He's got a couple of like hot sandwiches, and he just rolls up. They take what they need, whatever. He's got drinks, and the whole interaction, he gets through like 12 people in 4 minutes.
Wow.
And then he gets back in the car and drives off. And I watched the whole video.
Every time?
It pops up and I just go, well, I guess I haven't watched the whole video. I fall asleep by the end.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. That is interesting.
But it's also like the guy, there's a really famous TikToker who is a DoorDasher on the bike.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen his stuff. He's in our neighborhood.
Really? I don't think I've seen him.
He does he literally just wears a GoPro, and it's just him riding his bike around Glendale, picking up food. He's like, I have an order for this person. Then he runs in, and it's and his whole thing is no drinks. He doesn't take orders with drinks because he's on a bike.
Yeah, because he'll spill.
So he wouldn't make it in this business.
Yeah, this business is a cutthroat business. Yeah. Deliver papers and coffee.
Papers and coffee.
Yeah, that's what they called it. Paper coffee.
I feel like we're spending a lot of time on this kid's childhood.
Well, what we're spending a lot of time on is you interrupting me, so I had to tell that story about my business over and over and over.
Yeah.
So
yesterday at 7 a.m., I was leaving my parents' house. This is a really fun time. Shut up. Tell the story. This is a really fun time because Tim is exhausted.
Shut up. Tell the story.
Tim is so tired.
Shut up. Tell the story. And then you
Tim's
interrupted
so tired that
else.
Stop. I went over to your house the other day to meet your kid or whatever. And first of all, no kid.
There's not a kid there.
Exposed.
He said, here he is. And I didn't see one. There was literally, it was an imaginary friend. It was an imaginary ice cream he handed me. He handed me an imaginary ice cream.
I'm not joking. When I say the second that like I was watching this kid, Tim and Bree both, I watched them on the couch. We're both laying there and you could see them both just go.
You're responsible
and
for
Tim's
him now.
Laying there. His eyes are just like.
You better not die because it'd be your fault.
They were both falling asleep. So this is a really fun thing.
I was wrapped up in the blanket like this.
He really was.
Literally
he
like
was just cocooned. And he's just talking to me. It was so comfortable. He's like, yeah, man. I mean, we got into some conversations about like, I was like, man, you know, some of our friendships in LA, it's kind of hard to maintain. He's like, yeah, I know. It's like kind of tough. Like this time of life, we're trying to maintain friendships and stuff. It's crazy. So he's so exhausted that I'm trying to push him over.
Yeah, it'll work. It won't take much more.
Heck yeah, dude.
So anyways.
So Lou Pearlman, he's a hustler from the young age.
That's what I'm trying to illustrate. He's a young hustler. And then he grows up, becomes an adult, you know, does his adult life. And the first thing he does is he had a passion for blimps growing up. He was a big blimp boy.
Blimp?
Yeah, he used he used to go to the neighborhood blimps and watch them.
The neighborhood blimps. Okay. Well, he's in New York, I guess.
Yeah, he's in New York. It's like the 60s. Like there was the airport blimps would take off. And so he would go view the blimping. I don't know what they called it. Kind of like you like trains. He liked blimps. He had blimp toys. He looked at blimps. He liked blimps. He was a fan.
I love trains.
So he was like, I'm going to start a blimp company. So he launches a company called Airship Enterprises. And he gets himself a blimp.
I wish it was easier to break into the railroad industry. Those guys are tough. I've tried. And I go to the meeting and they go, no, you can't do it because you don't have capital. And I'm like, well, please let me be a train owner guy. I just want to be a train guy, you know? A train titan.
Trainee?
I got a train brain up here, man.
Train brain, yeah. So Airship Enterprises.
Right.
He starts this company and he approaches a bunch of businesses and ended up getting a deal inked with a company called Jordache, I think is how you call it. Not DoorDash. Jordache.
Okay.
Which is a designer jean company. We wouldn't know anything about those.
Sure.
Because we're poor. And so he leased one of his blimps to Jordache so they can put their logo on.
How much does a blimp cost in the 60s? You know?
Well, this is now, he's an adult, so this is like the 70s.
Okay.
I don't know how much a blimp costs. Give me 1 second. Well, we can get to a point where we can explain this.
Sure.
And so he leases the blimp so they can put their logo on the side of it. He can fly it around places like people do.
Don't let me derail your conversation.
You're welcome. And so here's the thing. He inks this deal. He's like, yeah, we got a blimp. We'll put your logo on the blimp. We'll fly it around. They're like, good deal. Here's money. And then they're like, we're excited to see it. And then he says, all right, I need to go get a blimp now. Didn't have one.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So a little bit of a hustler.
A little bit of a Ponzi scheme.
And so he went and got himself a blimp and he put their logo on it and he started flying it around.
He's like, shoot, dude, somebody just tried to redeem all of my newspaper points for a blimp, and I don't have a blimp. I need to find a blimp immediately.
I need a blimp so fast. I need a blimp like yesterday.
Yeah, you can redeem all the newspaper coffee points, 7 million of them, for a blimp.
So this was probably the most consequential moment in his business career because he took this blimp out. He got a blimp, put a logo on it. First flight. Crashed it hard.
Well, okay, so I guess this is what I'm saying too. Does the cost of advertising on a blimp cover the cost of a blimp? Because okay.
So traditionally, the answer to that question would be no.
Okay.
It's the sort of thing where you would invest in a blimp and then you would run it for years until you recoup the cost of getting the blimp.
Right.
Because the cost of advertising, it doesn't work out. And so he got this blimp. He insured it for $3 million. The blimp was worth $20,000. And so he crashes this blimp on the first flight.
Oh, fraud. Okay, I see what we're doing now. I fully understand the story. So we're doing fraud. Okay, big fan of that.
And so crashes the blimp. His insurance company sues him because they were like, this thing is not worth $3 million. The second they saw it, they were like, that's not a $3 million blimp. And
he goes, well, it was. It's not now, you're right.
Now it's broken.
Because it's broken. It's crashed.
It's broken. It'd be $3 million.
I agree that right now it's not worth $3 million, but unfortunately you've signed the paperwork.
So they went to court, and at the end of the legal hearing, Pearlman was awarded $2.5 million.
They were like, it's worth 2.5.
Yeah, it's not worth 3, but it's worth 2.5, which is crazy because he spent $20,000 on it. And so now he's a millionaire. And he's like, oh, this is sick. Now I can finally do all my business things. Sharks.
Sharks. Golly, dude. And then this is like in the 60s still.
Yeah.
2.5 million in the 60s.
Well, let's find out.
What is it?
Let's find out. Inflation calculator.
In the early days of this show, we did like affiliate ads where we were like, hey, sign up for Grammarly and use code TILLN and we got like 15 cents. And now we just do Patreon. It's a much better way. It's better for us as creators. It's better for you as listeners. And it's a much more fun way for us to interact. We do monthly hangouts like on Zoom. We just hang out and play games online and get to know each other. It's a really fun time. So, but still use our code TILLN at Grammarly.com because I think it's still active. We might get like a couple cents from that. Yeah. But join us on Patreon because we're having a great time.
Yeah. If you don't, we're going to have to start doing mobile game ads. 4.7 million.
Okay.
Almost $5 million. And so a
small chump change compared to what I make as a rich person.
So he says, I think I have exhausted my resources here in New York City. I'm going to move to Florida. So he moves to Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
Where he starts another company, Airship International. And here, what he does is he actually takes the company public on the stock market. And he sells the company. He raises $3 million from selling shares on the stock market. He uses that to go buy a blimp. And he actually buys like a legitimate blimp this time and gets a pretty good lucrative deal, gets the Mick blimp, which is awesome.
McDonald's, the Mick blimp.
Yeah. And McDonald's was pretty pumped about this. They were running ads about the Mick blimp. They were like, look out for the Mick blimp all around the country. And they just flew this thing around.
Yeah.
He also got a deal with MetLife and had a MetLife blimp. And he had kind of
I hate the way he looks in this picture. Just, I hate that.
Yeah, and so he had a series of blimps that he put together with different businesses. Spoiler alert, they all ended up crashing. And so the company...
when a blimp crashes, it's not... I mean, there's a famous blimp that crashed that was horrific and bad. But since then, most blimp crashes aren't like that, right?
I mean, no, but like they usually are like fiery explosions.
Do people die in all of them?
If they're in it.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I would say all of them. I don't think anyone died in his crashes. I haven't heard of anyone dying in his blimp crashes.
They all crashed.
Yeah, they almost all
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that...
Yeah.
dying in a blimp crash is a big fear.
Yeah. I don't know. But by the early 90s, by 91,
do blimps? It's not efficient.
Oh, well, here. Well, I think blimps were thought of before planes. I don't know if that's true, but don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure they were.
Would be true.
But what I do know
they were like, what about balloons on top of?
What I do know is that the vision of the blimp was you could load a bunch of people in the passenger part of the blimp.
Yeah.
And the Empire State Building, the original plans for the Empire State Building, the spire was like a port. And so you would tie the blimp to that spire. You'd fly up, tie the blimp to that spire, and everyone could get out at the top level of the Empire State Building. And so the vision was you could have all these buildings with the spires on it, fly right up to the building, and get out at the top of the building.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense, except for it never worked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any... Because if you tie them to the top, there's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, well, why doesn't it make sense? It's just like a boat. You just roll up, you throw the rope out, pull it in.
Yeah, sure. Except for if you misstep, you fall from the top of the Empire State Building.
It's the same thing in the ocean. You fall into the ocean.
It's not the same. You understand that's not the same thing, right? You understand that's not the same thing.
I do understand.
You understand that's not the same thing.
I understand it's not the same thing. I understand it's not the same
but you didn't for a second.
I'm fully aware.
But for a second, you were like,
it was a bit. It was a joke.
For a second, you were like, oh, it's like the same thing. There was
never a second that I didn't understand it. So anyways, by 91, he had contracts with.
He was like, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, but I mean, what's it better to fall from the top of the Empire? What are you afraid of?
Empire State Building is not as deep as the ocean.
That's true. The bottom of the ocean is further away. That's a true fact. You got it, buddy.
So by 91, he had deals with McDonald's, MetLife, SeaWorld.
Does he own the Goodyear blimp?
He does not own the Goodyear blimp.
Okay. Why is the Goodyear blimp the famous one?
I think it's maybe the longest running one, I would assume.
I
think there's only like 15 blimps left.
There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot. Yeah. There's one that looks like a minion for some reason.
That's cool. So he by 91, he had a lot of different clients, but a lot of different blimp crashes. And so his share price had dropped pretty hard. And so at its peak, the share price in his blimp company was $6 a share.
Okay.
By the 91, his price was down to 3 cents per share. And the company was closed. So he then says, okay, what am I going to do now? And he pivots to starting an airplane company.
Okay.
And so he puts together a fleet of airplanes with the cash that he had amassed from kind of pumping and dumping the airship business. And he launches Transcontinental Airlines.
Okay.
And so he now is going around, and this company, this isn't an airline like Southwest Airlines. They're not doing commercial flights. They're doing private flights.
Yes.
And so he is having rich people book flights for him.
Chartered jets, essentially.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so he's communicating with a bunch of these different people, booking flights. Here's an interesting thing about his business, Transcontinental Airlines. They also went public. They also sold stock, had a bunch of investors, had overseas investors, had how do I put this? A group of investors from New York that were Italian in nature and maybe not nice.
Sure.
Unkind Italians. It was the mafia. He had mafia ties.
Unkind Italians.
Yeah, so the mafia invested in this airline.
Italian.
This mafia invests in this business. He has
There's a whole arc in The Sopranos about how people are racist against Italians, and that gives them they're just
right
like
to be the mafia.
No, but they're like, we can hate black people because people are racist to Italians, and
what?
It's part of the arc.
That's an arc in it. Like that's not just like a thing that they say once.
It's multiple seasons. They're like, by the way, we don't like black people,
and it's because other people don't like us.
That's kind of what it felt like. Yeah.
Jeez,
so I was saying
rough. So he launches this company, the airline company. He's booking private flights. And
Transcontinental's a big airline, though, eventually.
I think you're thinking of TWA.
No, maybe I'm thinking of Continental.
Maybe Continental. This never was a big airline.
Okay.
And it's emphasized by the fact that he, in his paperwork that he disclosed to investors, and his public marketing, had 3 jets that he was flying people in. He never had 3 jets. He was chartering jets himself, and so he was a middleman for this business.
Okay.
The jet in this photo,
I was gonna say that. Okay.
Is one of these, and he just went to the airport and he held it up by the tail, and he took close photos of it, and he made a bunch of marketing material, holding these little model planes
way.
up. And none of them. It was little toy jets that he was just holding by the tail. And you can tell.
So this guy's just a schemer.
The runway doesn't make sense with where this is taking off from. It's like crossing the runway. And so, clever. Because you didn't even think it could be fake. But this is a little toy. It's just a little toy airplane.
Well, and it's also just like the quality of photos.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, you could get
really
away with a lot
hid.
more.
But now that you say that, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's fake. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but everybody, like, nobody had any reason to look at this and be like, that's probably a fake plane. Everyone just saw the marketing material and it said he was chartering flights. And then they would book a charter flight with him and he would pull it off. It wouldn't be that plane that would show up, but planes would end up getting to them. Yeah. Investors saw this stuff. Investors invested in the businesses. And so he's chartering these flights.
So, but when he's doing like the IRS documents, he's claiming to have 3 planes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Which
and
is
he's
fraud.
got insurance policies on him.
And obviously. He has insurance policies on assets that don't exist. Got it.
And he's got investors, both private investors and public investors, because it's a public company that are investing in this business.
As if the assets will back up their losses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
But here's the thing.
That's pretty classic fraud. And that's where it's like I really had to toe a really delicate balance because my marketing material was also just fake little ice creams. I would take the pictures from Dairy Queen. I'd be like, this is what's in my inventory. And then I would give it to them and they would know. Yeah. They're holding an invisible ice cream.
they can tell when they hold it.
They go,
this is invisible.
This isn't what was in the picture. And you're like, it is if you can
picture it.
If you can just think for a second.
If you can just picture it.
Oh, what are you, dumb?
What are you,
and then I would just embarrass him. I'd be like, oh, you can't imagine?
You don't have an imagination.
Oh, I'm so grown that I've lost the inner child. I would say this. As a 5-year-old, I'd be like, oh, I'm so grown. I've lost my inner child. I can't imagine anymore. Yeah. Oh, I've lost touch with the whimsical part of life. And they would go, okay, sorry. Yeah. Like, well, you owe me another 10 cents for how inconvenient this conversation was. I was freaking ruthless.
You were a shark.
And then I had 2 large Italians behind me also just being like, you gonna pay the kid?
Buy the ice cream? Or you ended up getting canceled because one customer you did this to, and then they were like, I have aphantasia. And so it was ableism that you were doing this whole thing. And then you had to get this whole thing. You had to get lawyers involved. Aphantasia?
What is that?
That's where you can't visualize stuff in your brain. Like there's just nothing there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, some people can't.
Oh, that sucks for them.
Yeah. And so, you showed up and they were like, you're really hurting my feelings right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm imagining beating you up right now. If you've got that,
sad that you can't imagine.
You can't picture it, but just know that I'm imagining me just.
But I want you to know I'm picturing.
Oh, I'm lighting you up right now. What are you gonna do about it? You can't even fight back. Our imaginations can't fight.
So he's running this business.
Thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
What?
It's a spectrum. It just like everyone has is at a different spot on the scale of what they can visualize when they close their eyes and they picture something. So the classic example is like close your eyes. What do you see when you picture an apple? And there's a scale. It's like there's people who see absolutely nothing, and there's people who can like picture perfect see an apple, and then there's everything in between. Like there's people who see like a concept of an apple in their head, but they don't actually see something. Then there's people who can like visualize like the shape of an apple, but it's like kind of abstract, almost like a painting. And then and it goes all the way to being to the point where it's actually visible.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So he is booking flights for a bunch of people.
Yeah, as a middleman.
Yeah, as a middleman. And he starts getting a lot of these bookings from this new band called New Kids on the Block. And he is interested because he's like, hey, so you guys, like he's talking to the manager. He's like, you guys are booking a lot of flights. Can you guys afford this? And his manager just kind of started talking to him about the economics of the business. And he was like, dude, I'm in the wrong business. He's like, I'm out here booking all these flights. You guys are making money hand over fist. So he's living in Orlando and he puts out an open casting call.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, so he's going to start a boy band.
Yeah, he says, wannabe boy band. And so he's looking for people, and he starts holding these open auditions. And long story short, he starts meeting these different, I guess, like young adult high school boys, and he finally gets this group put together, and they end up becoming the Backstreet Boys. And ironically...
And here's the thing, dude. I hated how he looked in the other picture. I love how he looks in this one. That's incredible. Because it's the young Backstreet Boys, and he's in a mustard yellow suit.
It's a good
which
look.
Is, and I can't overstate, that's a freaking power move right there.
It's a power move, yeah.
If I gained 60 pounds, I could play him.
Honestly, a Lou Pearlman biopic with you starring it that'd be fresh.
Just me taking pictures of planes and the,
And so here's the thing.
That's crazy.
So Lou takes the Backstreet Boys, and he calls the manager of Boys to Men. Or not Boys to Men, New Kids on the Block. And he says, hey, I got this new group. He says, you live in Boston.
Right.
He says, you live in Boston.
Yeah.
Boston sucks. It's cold. I live in Orlando. Orlando rocks. It's warm. We got Disney World. He's like, you and your wife come down here, manage my new band. And he's like, deal. And so he comes down there, and he tells the Backstreet Boys, he gets a deal put together with the Backstreet Boys. And the deal is an interesting deal because there's a lot of terms into it we're going to get into later. But one of the main things he does right off the bat.
That's crazy that I just called that from the top. That's wild.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I when I showed you that picture, I was like, he's either going to think he's a boy band manager or a youth pastor. I was like, this could go either way. I wanted you to think youth pastor, but I mean, I could see how...
You thought this image was going to make me go youth pastor. His arms are crossed, and he's clearly like, I'm the power broker here in this situation.
Yeah.
And all these boys have the eyes of people who... Every single one of these boys has the eyes of someone who's like, I'm going to be famous one day.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we did in youth groups.
Okay. So now he's got the
Backstreet Boys.
Yes, and they're managed by the New Kids on the Block person.
Yes, and so they left New Kids on the Block to manage them. And the deal, basically, he made this deal. He said, "You guys are all going to quit your jobs. I'm going to pay for your housing. I'm going to pay for your food. I'm going to pay for your transportation." So this is kind of technically, in a way.
Okay.
And then he's able to charter all these flights, and so he is picking these kids up in Rolls Royces. He's chartering flights. He's flying them private everywhere they go. He is meeting all these people and treating them, giving them the high life experience, right?
Okay.
Takes the Backstreet Boys, and then for about a year, teaches them everything that they need to know, gets them to start. He has his little blimp hangar.
Are they doing gigs?
So it takes some time. So he has the blimp hangar, which has no AC, by the way. And so he's got them in the Florida heat in this blimp hangar, learning how to be a boy band. So he's teaching them how to sing. He gets a full like surround or sound system put in, and he gets them mics. He teaches them how to sing on mics. He has like vocal coaches that come out and train them. He has choreographers that teach them how to dance. And they spend like a year in this weird
How do you
hangar.
describe to your friends what you're doing at this stage of life? How do you tell your friends, oh yeah, I gotta go to a boy band camp?
It's not even camp.
Dude, and it's like hot. Well, it's like kind of like what I'm saying. Like it's hot in this hangar. You're probably shirtless.
Yeah, probably.
It's me and 4 other shirtless dudes dancing for this guy who is old.
And one of them is Nick Cannon, who at the time was 12 years old.
I'm sorry,
not
say
Nick
that again.
Cannon, not Nick.
No, go for it again.
Nick Carter.
There
Nick
you
Carter.
go. I was like, yeah. I said, which one is Nick Cannon, buddy?
Nick Cannon?
One of these is Nick Cannon. Jeez.
So Nick Carter is 12 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And so they're all in there dancing.
Which one's Nick Carter in this picture?
He's the one in the yellow mustard.
He's the top.
He's the one in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick Carter is
What's the
12.
age range of this?
So it's interesting. So Nick Carter's 12. And I don't remember everyone's name. But the guy at the right, I believe, is 16.
Okay.
And then the guy in the front left is like 20.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the right and the guy in the back middle are like 18, I believe.
Okay.
And the guy in the front left, whatever his name is, let me actually get you.
I know that's what I'm saying. I can picture his name.
Yeah. His name is Yeah, that's Kevin Richardson.
Right.
So Kevin, he worked at Disney at the time, and he was one of the like tour guides, and so he would do the tour guide thing. Yeah. And that's actually how he got the gig. Is one of them in the group had already got the job, and he was like, "There's this guy at Disney that's like really good at doing the tour guide thing. We should get him." And so he tracked him down, and then he's like, "You want to audition?" He had him audition.
He just took tour after tour after tour. And this wasn't even the guy he was talking about. He was talking about a different guy, but he was just like,
I guess
this guy's got the look.
this guy works too, I guess.
So that's what I'm saying. So they spent like a year learning how to be. That's what I'm saying. Like they weren't performing anywhere. They weren't doing any gigs. They were just learning how to be a boy band.
Yes, exactly. And I think Lou was also figuring out how to do this business. Right. Like he was like, okay, what goes into making this business
what year is
start?
this?
This would have been I guess like 91.
Okay.
I would think. Maybe 93. 93. And so then after a year of that, he shipped him off on tour, but it was a school tour. And so they did elementary schools and middle schools, they did assemblies.
They came to Vernon.
No one knew who they were.
Right.
And so it's just this boy band, which was still like barely a thing. Like there was a handful of boy bands, and they would just show up to these schools, do their boy band thing. Obviously, these kids are loving it, though.
Sure.
The boy band, I mean. The kids, the crowds, who knows?
Because it's like, are they getting paid?
Well, that's what's interesting. No. But all their life is covered. Like, so
but
they
I'm
don't
saying,
have any.
Is Lou getting paid?
I don't know at this phase. I don't know if he's getting paid at this phase. Maybe. Like, the schools might be paying a little bit. But at the end of the day, like, it's probably barely covering getting them there. Because it's a group of 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the deal very clearly was like, I'm going to cover your cost of living. You're not going to have anything to worry about. You're going to be able to be completely focused on this. We're going to get you there. And when we get you there, then you get paid. Basically, it was the deal.
Okay.
And so after a year of them touring around doing schools, they went and they recorded an album. And that album did okay in the States, but crushed in Germany, which is really interesting. And so they did like an overseas tour. So that first record came out in 96.
Yeah.
And in the US, it didn't even chart. It didn't even chart in the US. So it didn't do great. But in Germany, it peaked at number 1. And so it crushed in Germany.
Right.
So he sends them off on a European world tour, essentially. And at this European world tour, they start playing. They start with small theaters, but a lot of those, they have to step up to larger rooms because they keep selling
out so fast.
And so their quote unquote career like blossomed overseas first, and then they put out that second album, which is Backstreet's Back.
Right.
And so that's what's so interesting is, as far as people in the States are concerned, that was like the first one we knew.
Sure.
Where they came and they're like, Backstreet's Back. And everyone's like, who are you?
Yeah. The McRib. So.
Yeah. And so then that one charted in the States. Right. They exploded at that point. That was 3 years into this project.
It's catchier.
Yeah. Yes. And so that was the first year that they like.
You know, honestly, good music. Still listen to today. It's on my workout playlist.
Is it?
Backstreet Boys. It's the only thing I listen to.
It's on your workout playlist?
It is my workout playlist.
Are you lying to me right now?
No, I listen to Backstreet Boys when I work out.
Are you telling me the truth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. You're messing with me right now.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. So
I listen to the RuneScape soundtrack when I work out.
So I found out the other day that my wife doesn't know what RuneScape is.
What's that?
Wait, so I texted you the other day before you came over to my house to meet my invisible child.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, Jaron's probably at Waffle House right now. And you were. And so
How'd
I was
you
like,
call that? That's crazy.
well, because I thought about it, I was like, what are the places around here he would go to just hang out in a town where he doesn't live? I was like, probably Waffle House. And
wow,
I didn't call that.
I hate that I'm that predictable. Never again.
I didn't call that you'd be playing RuneScape. And so then when you said that, I actually screenshotted it and sent it to her. And I was like, told you. And she was like, what's RuneScape? And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, but your wife doesn't know what TikTok is. Your wife uses Facebook still. So I don't think that's a barometer of...
She tried to tell me that she was too cool to know what RuneScape was when we were kids. And I was like, actually, that tells me that you were not cool at all.
Not cool at all.
Like, because everybody played RuneScape.
That's actually not true. I mean, like, no girls played RuneScape.
The cool ones did.
Did they?
If you were a cool girl, comment below and tell us if you played RuneScape.
There was so many girls that play RuneScape. I had a girlfriend on there.
Yeah, I had like 7 girlfriends on there.
There were so many girls who were like, hey, I'll be your girlfriend. Will you give me money? And you're like, yeah. And it's like, dude, there were so many girls who play RuneScape. If no girls played RuneScape, who did I give 10 mil to?
Yeah, I gave 10 mil to I gave my rainbow boots to a girl once. Who did I give my rainbow boots to? Anyways, so he's doing this. They, after 3 years, had their first success in the States.
Why is he doing that?
I was a Fantasian. I had to picture the notes.
After 3 years, they start touring in the United States. Hey, thanks for listening to Things I Learned Last Night. Just so you know, we got a new merch line coming out for this summer. So you've been working on that summer bod and you want to show off how ripped you are, you can get a small t-shirt from us. Or if you've not been working on that summer bod, why don't you check out our 2X selection? So we do have some really cool designs. I'm actually really proud of them. We got like a honkin' and bonkin' shirt. We've got just regular Things I Learned Last Night. These are, listen, we don't make a ton of money from this show. This is literally to help cover our expenses, which, you know, like microphones and Alex. And so thanks for supporting our show.
I had to picture.
Okay.
They start touring in the United States, and that's when they start to become like a real, genuine success.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
because I mean, there had been other like boy bands, like Boys to Men was a thing, New Kids on the Block. Is NSYNC also coinciding with this right now? Do you know? So
what's interesting is they're on tour in Germany.
Yeah.
And Lou is sitting there looking at them. They're taking off in Germany, and he's confident. He's like, they're going to come back from Germany. We're going to put out a new record. They're going to blow up in the States. And so he, in later interviews, says, look, you got Coke, you got Pepsi. We're going to have a competitor. And he's like, why not own the competitor? And so he starts quietly looking for...
Wait, I didn't know that.
He starts quietly looking for the next boy band. And then that's when he put together NSYNC. And
he owned both of them.
And
I did not know that.
Same concept. He got this group together, held the auditions. Backstreet is in Germany.
Yeah.
Backstreet's manager, who used to be
New Kids on the Block,
he hears the rumblings about it. And so he calls Lou one day. He's like, hey, what's this I'm hearing about you putting together another boy band? And he's like, oh, I'm not putting together another boy band. There's just this kid that's trying to get his own band put together. He keeps showing up, asking me all questions. He's like, it's nothing. I'm not doing it. There's nothing involved there. And so he's like keeping this quiet from everybody until he gets the band put together, does the same thing. Backstreet's in Germany doing their German tour. NSYNC is at the airstrip learning how to do the thing. And so they start in 95 learning their thing while Backstreet is off on tour. Backstreet comes back. Backstreet starts touring the U.S.
Backstreet's back.
Up. Backstreet's back. Backstreet blows up. Backstreet blows up.
They weren't. Backstreet's very white.
Backstreet.
You went Backstreet's black.
I didn't realize I did that.
That's why I was like, no, they're not.
Backstreet's back.
Yeah.
They're touring the U.S. They're exploding. They're just larger than life now, right?
And so now the boys at NSYNC are like,
is doing the school tour.
We're doing elementary schools.
Yeah, they're doing elementary schools. And they don't know about each other yet. And then...
How do they not know about each other?
He's keeping it under lock and key.
Oh, you mean like they don't know that they're both involved with Luke? Because obviously NSYNC knows about
Backstreet.
I was going to say, no way.
knows about Backstreet.
Yeah.
Backstreet doesn't know about NSYNC.
Okay.
And then Disney comes to Lou and is like, we want Backstreet to do this big Disney event. But Backstreet, the guys in Backstreet think that it's the bad call. They think that if we do this, we're going to be labeled as like the Disney band. We're going to be a kids Disney band.
Yeah.
And so they back out and Lou's like, it's okay. I got another. And he drops NSYNC in. And that's how NSYNC blows up because they took that Disney opportunity. And Backstreet all of a sudden is like, wait a second, you have another boy band? And so it was kind of like this like almost moment of betrayal for Backstreet because they didn't know that there was this like other one that he had
right
like locked up and ready to go at the moment when it was ready.
Yeah.
And so NSYNC does this Disney event and just explodes. Like locked out of a cannon, didn't have to go do the Germany thing. They just overnight were huge. And so now all of a sudden he's got Coke and he's got Pepsi. And he's like
now all of a sudden he's got Coke and he's got Pepsi. Why did you say it?
That's what he said. And he's like
he's got Coke and he's got Pepsi.
And he's like, what else could I need? He's like, I need Mountain Dew. I need RC Cola.
Fanta.
I need Mug. And so he starts going out and he starts.
Oh, it's Fanta. Sorry, Fanta.
He starts trying to start all these other bands. And the network of boy bands and like single artists that he put together are pretty crazy. He had put together, I don't know if you're going to know all these bands, but let's see.
All of them.
I don't have pictures of all of them.
Oh, okay.
But he put together LFO.
Yep.
Have you heard of it?
Yep.
Take 5.
Yeah.
Natural.
Oh, big.
Marshall Dillon. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know Marshall Dillon.
And then Aaron Carter.
Oh,
obvious.
Aaron Carter.
You get the little brother.
Did Aaron Carter do I Want Candy?
Yeah.
I think also a big part of this for these boys bands was so many of these songs got used in like the Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah, he had Disney connections.
And that's all you need.
Yeah. Especially because like those boy bands, they cater to that audience. That younger audience. And then Jordan Knight.
Younger audience.
Jordan Knight, Smiles and South Star. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I don't know any of these. I was just messing about. I didn't know about LFO. I didn't know about Natural. I only knew Aaron Carter.
Did you know Take 5?
No.
C-Note?
No.
There's another one on here that's not listed on the Wikipedia, but it was a girl band. It's the same concept as a boy band, just all female. One of the original members in it, Britney Spears.
Okay.
So that's how she got her start. It was in that band too. So he had a massive impact on this era of music. Is the point. A lot of the main artists in this time frame were Pearlman artists. He had the company Transcontinental Records. Here's the thing.
Maybe that's why I think about how big it is, Transcontinental.
Here's the interesting thing about this.
Got it.
3 years in, Backstreet Boys blow up.
Yeah.
They're huge. This is the time where he told them, I'm going to cover all your cost of living until we make it. And then you get paid. And so he invites them to this steak dinner. They go out to this really nice restaurant in Orlando. He sits them around a table and he slides them their checks. This is 3 years of effort. They now are a platinum artist. They've world toured arenas. And so they're huge. We know how big Backstreet was. They're at dinner and Lou's like, we're at the 3-year mark. He slides them all their checks. This is 3 years of work that have got them to the point where they're platinum artists.
Yeah.
They have toured the globe, arena toured the globe, right?
Yeah.
Arguably,
they have not been getting paid this entire time, but all their expenses are taken care of.
All their expenses are taken care of. And he's given them a pretty lavish lifestyle. Like they are riding everywhere in limos. They're flying private. He's buying all their clothes. They're eating incredible meals. So like they're living a
Do they have
crazy
spending
lifestyle.
money and stuff?
I don't know if they have spending money. I don't think they have free time. So I don't know if that's really a concern. But now they're getting paid. The point in the deal where it's like, we've made money, you can get paid now. Slides them all checks. 3 years of effort. They open them up. And then they each got a check for $10,000.
Oh.
And immediately, each one of them was like, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
We'll adjust for inflation real quick. I'll tell you $10,000 and this would have been 96 is worth $20,000 today for 3 years.
Yeah.
I saw one documentary that did the math. This was equivalent to less than minimum wage for 3 years of effort.
No.
To be
you don't say. You had to watch a whole documentary to figure that out? What are you, stupid?
Maybe.
Are you a dumb?
Maybe. So.
Wow. $20,000 over 3 years? Ugh, I saw one documentary that did the math. Turns out that's less than minimum wage. Yeah.
In 96, I wasn't making minimum wage in 96. Minimum wage was also $4.95 in 96.
Uh-huh.
And also...
For $10,000.
Yeah, here's the deal. I don't need you to explain to me. Whatever. Okay, anyways. So the band gets together after this, and they're like, something's up. And they were like, we've been working a lot. We made way more money than this. I'm sure he made more money than this. The business seems to be doing pretty well. And also, by the way, weird little sidebar, he made, this is crazy, he made Nick Carter, hold on, let me get the names right. He made, so Nick Carter was going to have to spend a lot of time with him. He's 12 years old, right? And so he can't just like be spending all this time with them. And so he made Nick Carter, I don't know what the technical term is for this.
Become like where he was his guardian?
Well, no. Brian Luttrell, one of the other band members, had to become his legal guardian, who was 18 years old at the time. And so he's now his dad, which is hilarious.
What?
I would have let that go. But yeah, his parents couldn't be there all the time.
Yeah.
But he's 12 years old. And so like they needed a legal guardian there. And so Brian Luttrell had to become his legal guardian. And so like, that's weird.
Well,
right?
We had to do that for you when we did Google Play. I'm your legal guardian.
Can you imagine? What do we have to do for Jaron to become
I actually can't imagine guardian? Because I have aphantasia.
I can't imagine that. Thanks for asking. That actually really hurt.
Oh, can you imagine?
No. So
wow, and you should avoid those microaggressions. You should really think about the words you use more carefully.
So they get together, the band gets together, and they're like, something's up here. And they start talking about it.
Something's up, guys. I think something is amiss.
So
we're making less. Did you know we're making less than minimum wage? It's what I was told.
Yeah. So Brian Luttrell, he hired a lawyer to look over all their contracts with his $10,000. He's like, I'll take my $10,000, hire a lawyer with his contract. And so when the lawyer poured through all the documents, and he learned a few things. One, obviously, as the agency was taking a major percentage off the top of what they were making. This percentage was large. It was a 40% percentage, which is pretty high. The other thing that's interesting is they were a 5-piece band, but according to the documents, they were a 6-piece band. The 6th person was Lou Pearlman. And Lou Pearlman was a founding member that had the largest stake in the band.
Okay.
So they all had small percentage pieces of the band, and he had like an 80% share. So not only...
So they're splitting 20%, so they're getting 4% each.
Yeah.
And they're paying 40% of that
to the agency. And then he's also taking 80% because he's the founding member. But he's not doing anything. He's not even on tour with them.
Right.
Yeah, and he just put them together. And so they found that out, and the lawyer who saw this was like, oh, this is interesting. He told it to them. And at this point, the band has been in a major feud with NSYNC this whole time. They're enemies.
Yeah.
But the Backstreet Boys reaches out to the NSYNC and they're like, hey, are you guys making any money? And they're like, I mean, now that you mention it, no. Are we supposed to be making money?
No.
Oh my gosh. You're right.
But here I am in a luxury, and it's also kind of like, hey, just be grateful. You're like 12, man. You're staying in a luxury hotel in Germany, so maybe shut up. Maybe Lou's right.
Up. Maybe Lou is right. And so they find out, and they hire a lawyer, and they look through. Same thing. He's the 6th member of the band. They're taking a major percentage out of it. And this starts to spread between all of the bands. And all the bands start to notice the same pattern. He's the 6th member. They're taking a big percentage. They're making basically nothing for all the work that they're doing.
Right.
And he's making a lot of money off of the work that they're all doing. And so they take him to court. And this becomes like a huge case. And it becomes like this big lawsuit that's very much in the public eye. And this lasts years. But eventually, what ends up coming out of it is he gets forced out of all these bands. Surprise. And they have to restructure all of these deals to where they're more fair for the bands. A lot of the bands end up leaving the label after the fact because
right.
Why would you stay with someone?
Also, why would the label have allowed that?
Yes.
Like the label knew what was going on.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. So a lot of these bands end up leaving, and it kind of crushes his ability to run this
scheme,
this record label anymore. So he pivots. And in the early 2000s, he opens up a talent scouting company. And talent scouting company, long story short, very similar story. Ended up getting lawsuits, ended up falling apart. The big thing that's happening here is all along the road, he has the same pool of investors. And he has this one guy on Wall Street that he's paying $10,000 a week to just buy and move shares. So that way, the value of the company stays pretty like where he wants it to be.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of manufacturing the value of this company while the company is failing nonstop.
Right.
He has this ownership group that was the airship blimp company, and that failed. It was Transcontinental Airlines. That failed. It was the record company that built the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Aaron Carter and Britney Spears and a lot of major bands that you've heard of. That fails. He also got a froyo company. Oh, this is a fun one. What are they called? I'm drawing a blank.
Orange Leaf.
What?
Orange Leaf?
No, not Orange Leaf.
Baskin Robbins.
Hold on. This is Chippendales. He got Chippendales. And then a bunch of other just various really random businesses that he was running that some were relatively successful, some were not very successful at all, and they were all underneath this ownership structure. And it was very abundantly clear by the mid-2000s that this is a Ponzi scheme.
That he's using this business to prop this one up, to prop this one up. Yeah.
And to then go pay back investors. So the FBI finds out, and the FBI comes and does an investigation. The FBI shows up, and they immediately realize, as they tour their Orlando office, something is strange here because there's a bunch of employees. But as the FBI tours the office, none of the employees seem to care that the FBI is examining everything in the office. And they said it was actually very strange that as FBI agents, we're walking through the office and everyone's just minding their business.
Everyone's like, oh, hey, do you guys want coffee? Cream?
We got Dunkin'. And so what they end up being able to find out years later is that they hired a bunch of actors to pretend to be employees because there was none, because this business had never been a legitimate business at any point along the storyline. And so the FBI agent that was in charge of the case immediately went back to the attorney general and said, oh yeah, this company is frauding hard. Like, we need to come down on them. And the attorney general says, I don't think you need to keep looking into that. And so the case gets shot down because the attorney general
is an investor in the company.
The attorney general was Charlie Crist, who Lou paid for his campaign to become attorney general. Later, he became governor. Later, he became a United States senator.
Yeah.
And he was until 2022 a senator. And Lou paid him off. So he wouldn't
I hate the world we're in, man. Golly, that sucks. Okay.
And he ran this scheme for a long, long time. And it wasn't until the late 2000s, in 2007, when he had a program called the Employee Investment Savings Account. And what it was employees of any of his businesses could take a portion of their earnings or any of the money from their own bank account and invest in this saving account, and that would offer returns.
Okay.
And according to the documentation, the returns they were offering were 20 to 30% year over year, which was insane.
Impossible.
Like insane.
The math does not math.
Returns. He then began offering these accounts to people who weren't employees. He would go around Orlando, particularly in retirement communities, and offer these savings accounts to people who didn't need them and to people who were not wise enough to realize that there's no way this was possible.
Right.
And so he got a lot of people involved in this. And that is when it finally came down on him that, oh, you're doing something wrong. Because now the attorney general was a different person who wasn't willing to deal with this. And then something else very interesting happened because one of his very early investors, when he first got into the blimp business, came knocking. Because this investor was someone he met in Germany who helped him acquire that first blimp on a pretty good discount.
Right.
And this man was a pilot for Germany in World War II, which is why I said it's significant that he was a Jew, because he was like, I don't care. Let me get a blimp. That's the kind of sketchy guy that this guy is.
Okay.
Well, that guy came knocking and was like, hey, you owe me a lot of money. And he's a rich investor. And he's like, hold on. He died. His family came knocking.
Okay.
He died. His family came knocking. They were rich. They were trying to get money back for their estate. And so he is now under investigation from the FBI for this fraud thing he's been doing for a long time.
He owes this Nazi.
This family. Yeah, he has this Nazi family coming after him. And so he calls up the drummer of the band Natural, and he says, I have a business proposal for you.
You pay off my debts. And I run free.
And so he talks to him and he's like, let's start a business together. Your band is not operating anymore. Let's start a business together. He's currently living at his house, which is weird. The relationship.
He's living at the drummer's house?
No, he's living at Lou's house.
The drummer is living at Lou's house.
At Lou's house, yeah. The relationship Lou had with a lot of these kids was very weird.
No way.
Yeah, there's a lot of sketchy stories we don't have to get too far into. But yeah, he let a lot of these kids live in his own home.
Sure. Sure.
Draw whatever conclusion you want there. So they start a business together, and they're going. And he says, "Let's go overseas. Let's try to get our investors." And so they start going from country to country to country, looking for new investors. And so he's very excited. He's pursuing this big lucrative business opportunity. He's like 28 years old. He had a successful band that went gold, and now he's like pursuing business with this other successful businessman that he's seen be very successful, until one day they're in Bali and Lou gets arrested. And this guy realizes, I was on the run from the FBI and the mafia and the Nazis with Lou, and he told me we were pursuing investors, but we were on the run.
Got it. Okay.
And this kid had no idea. And so he ends up getting extradited back to the U.S.
Which is pretty fun, though. Because there's no consequence for you. You just got to go on
I was on the run.
You'd be like, I was in Bali. I was doing all this. It was a good time. Yeah, it was an interesting time in my life. Oh, also, the guy that was spending a lot of time with just got arrested. But I just got to go home after that.
So he gets extradited back to the U.S. And he is put in prison in 2008 with a projected release in 2029. And
wow.
He gets this long sentence. Meanwhile, a couple things are happening. One of his early investors, a childhood friend, dies in Lou Pearlman's home of carbon monoxide poisoning from having like the thing attached to the car in the windows. Ruled a suicide.
Okay.
Everybody, a lot of people connected to him.
Mob.
I think it was the mob. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another interesting thing that happens is Lou is in prison, and Lou asks for access to the internet and a phone because he's like, if I can manage bands from here, he said I can make back the money, because the judge gave him an offer and said, if you could give back $1 million for every $1 million you give back to people you defrauded, I'll reduce a month off your sentence. So if we get it back $1 million, because what they found was he took $300 million from people.
Jeez.
And so like for every $1 million, you get a month back. And he's like, well, let me go earn the money. And he's like, well, you got to use the money you stole. You can't just go steal more money.
Right. That's why you're here.
Yeah, you're here for doing that.
You can't Ponzi scheme your release.
Yeah, you can't Ponzi scheme your way out of jail. And so when that doesn't work, he just died in 2010 of...
Oh, yeah. When that didn't work, he just died. Okay, well, I guess if I can't secure my release.
I mean, that's the thing. So he had an infection in his heart, and he ended up dying in 2010. Here's the thing. He was in prison for 2 years at the end of his life. But honestly, for the rest of it, he kind of lived the high life.
His brother was Garfunkel?
His cousin was Art Garfunkel.
And
Art disowned him.
Oh, okay.
He always wanted to be like Art. Like, he always talked about it. He's like, Art is so successful. I want to be successful like him. And he technically was. He built the career of so many. I mean, Justin Timberlake.
And that could have been a point where had he not done 80%.
Yeah.
That could have been his
it could have been a legitimate business. The problem was he owed the mob and a Nazi and a bunch of other Wall Street investors.
So he was living on...
He was already deep in the Ponzi scheme at that point. He had to make all that money off of NSYNC and Backstreet and every other artist to be able to pay his debts. He was in a deep Ponzi scheme. And that's how Ponzi schemes work.
And that's why this show doesn't make money either. Tim is in debt to the mob. So please help us by joining on Patreon so we can save Tim and his family
pay off the mob
from unkind Italians.
Yeah, we don't like the unkind Italians. But if you know any kind Italians that would look out for me,
I do.
I've been looking for some kind Italians.
They own Fazoli's.
I've been looking for some kind Italians that can stand behind me like this
and go.
We're kind. Not to
wow,
you.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So next time you listen to the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or Aaron Carter or Britney Spears or Justin Timberlake or...
They are on my workout playlist. My favorite song is Fiddle Off. Hey, sorry, we had to come back in the middle of the Fiddle Off because Tim just remembered an important detail that whole paper route story when he was in middle school was completely made up.
Yeah, he made that up to make him sound better at business. He put it in his book, and then all his friends later on in the documentary were like, yeah, that didn't happen.
So he never bought the paper route for $500.
He never bought the paper route. Yeah, it was all a lie. And there was a lot of things in this that he just lied about. I mean, obviously he lied about having planes. He lied about
quite a few lies.
He lied about having a blimp. He lied about having a blimp. He was just a serial liar, but he was good at it.
Speaking of serial liars, don't trust anything Tim says on this show. Fiddle off. Hey, thanks for being here for this episode of Things I Learned Last Night.
Thank you.
When I was 7 or 11 years old, we recorded an episode about the Ponzi scheme. And so you can actually learn about Ponzi.
It was before we paid Jaron.
And so you can learn, because like the whole thing about a Ponzi scheme is that it never made sense to be. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And so
but if you're the one running it, it kind of does make sense.
You can rip for a little bit. And so we did that episode. You can go check that out. We have a ton of other episodes we'd love for you to check out, including next week's. And so like right now you're like, oh, I gotta wait a whole 7 days. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You can join us on Patreon. And then once you listen to that, then you have to wait another 7 days for the next Patreon episode. So that benefit really is kind of like,
works once.
When we think about it, oh, wow.
Well, it works once, but then you get next week's early every time.
That's right. There's a QR code probably in the middle because there's nowhere to put it. It might be, it's bouncing around. Have a fun game trying to catch the QR code.
I don't even know if we put the QR code in anymore.
I don't know.
We might have stopped doing that.
Text TILLN to 66866 or go to TILLN.com/join.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, share the episode. Tell somebody.
Yeah, tell someone you like it.
Thanks.
Tell someone you want some more of it.
I like it. I love it. I want some more
Can't say any
of
more
it.
of that.
Sorry.
That's too much. You're going to content strike us.
Copyright. I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about these things I learned last night episodes.